Hey there, Yoga with Susan. Are you struggling with monkey mind, or maybe your mind is swirling in circles? Many people today in this world are stuck in their heads for various reasons, and truly a yoga practice can dislodge that stuckness in your head, in your mind, to get you into your heart, because your heart is really where it's at. And primarily, as we live each day and go through whatever we do in our days and in our evenings, we're supposed to be residing present in the heart space to then come into the mind when we need to use critical thinking or contemplation. So for this practice, I'm going to try to help you move from being stuck in your head with a monkey mind or perhaps a swirling to drop into that magnetic energy of your heart space where the true essence of you is, realizing that within our mind we have the ego mind and then we have the higher self as well. We will need some props for today's class. At the end of the class, we will be doing a beautiful supported fish pose to try to open up the chest and the heart space. You can have a bolster or you can have two blocks. One block would be underneath between the shoulder blades and the other one supporting your head. So pause if you need to get those props nearby. And we will start seated right here. And we're going to practice some deep breathing to release stress hormones and to start to shift our awareness from our mind jumping and spinning into our heart space. And you can do this practice anytime, anywhere. You do not have to do yoga asana and have a mat. You can be sitting in an office, in a chair, working at a desk at home, and you can do this anytime just for probably 2 minutes. So we will have our eyes closed, our spine is straight, extended tailbone to crown, our hip bones are rooted on the mat, our palms are resting on our legs. And to start, we're just going to inhale through the nose deep into the belly and exhale through the nose. We're going to bring awareness to our breath to stop the monkey from jumping or the swirling circles within our mind. And if your mind is really challenged with some distortion, you can even say, breathing in as you inhale and breathing out as you exhale. You can say it out loud as a soft whisper, or you can say it within your mind. Whatever works for you right now to ground your mind, to stop it from jumping and spinning, and start to root your mind down. Long inhales through the nose, deep into the belly, exhaling through the nose as a sense of calmness starts to be sensed within the body and the mind. Everything's slowing down. Continue breathing deep into the belly. Your mind should be slow, hopefully rooting, and awareness is on your breath. Now as you inhale, you're going to shift your awareness into your heart space, into your chest area, the Anahata chakra area, and you're just going to embody the feeling of energy, of heart energy in that space. The heart is powerfully magnetic, and we have to transition from our head into our heart to tap into that powerful magnetism. Continuing to inhale, feeling that magnetic vibration within the heart space. Long inhales, long exhales, allowing that presence of energy and vibration in the heart space to start to expand out like a circle, becoming larger and larger. You might even feel slightly lightheaded as that heart space expands. That's completely normal. That's the power of your energy, your magnetism. A few more breaths. Aligning with that energy in our chest, our heart space. Holding that magnetic vibration as we move and breathe on the mat today. Opening the eyes, we will be transitioning into a downward dog. Pedaling the feet, however you desire. It's our first downward dog of the class. Coming up on the toes, if you wish to release some tension from the toes. You can come onto the sides of your feet. Whatever feels good for you right now. Moving through that motion. And when ready, coming into a static downward dog for a few breaths. Palms and soles are pressing into the mat evenly. Continuing inhaling and exhaling through the nose, deep into the belly, to the lower diaphragm, which is where the belly button is. Releasing stress hormones into the blood as we breathe deeply and move on the mat. Looking to the front of the mat as we step the right foot through and come into a crescent moon lunge. Arms are extended overhead. Start a couple of breaths here just to get our balance. Awareness is going to be on the heart space, that magnetic feeling, versus really the movement of the body. The movement of the body is just helping you to anchor into your heart energy. Yoga mudra behind the back as we start to gaze upwards slowly, keeping our balance, opening up the chest with our first mini back bend in today's practice. 5 breaths here. Palms return to the mat. We step the right foot back into high plank, and we will be doing Ashtanga Namaskara, knees, chest, chin, high cobra, downward dog. So knees, chest, chin, inhaling into a high cobra, exhaling into a downward dog. A couple of breaths here. Stepping the left foot through the hands, coming into our low lunge. Arms extended overhead just to gain our balance and equilibrium. And when ready, yoga mudra behind the back, gazing upward, a mini back bend. 5 breaths here. Palms come to the mat, stepping back into a high plank, knees, chest, chin, high cobra, downward dog. A couple of breaths here. Lowering knees to the mat as we remain upright, and we will be practicing some camel swings before we come into a traditional camel. So I'm going to have my right arm extended. I'm going to try to have my left fingertips tap my heel for the first extension and swing. Beautiful. Switching sides. Remembering to move in a pain-free range. Deepening the back bend as we swing our arms back and forth. Opening up that heart space. allowing the energy to expand. Returning to upright on our knees, we're now going to come into a traditional camel pose. You can modify by putting your palms on the back of your lower back, or you can reach for your heels and come into a full camel. Pushing the hips forward, opening up the heart. Breathe. Long, smooth breaths still. Slowly returning to upright, transitioning into a child's pose, embryo, arms by the side, forehead on the mat. Some breaths here as our heart rate slows down. Inhaling into downward dog for a couple of breaths. Aware of the energy and vibration within your chest area as you increase your heart energy. Keep your awareness there. Inhale, stepping the right foot through the hand, going through the sequence again. Low lunge, arms extended overhead. When you have your balance and equilibrium, yoga mudra behind the back, coming into our second mini back bend on this side for this sequence. 5 breaths here. Ashtanga Namaskara. Cobra, downward dog. A couple of breaths here. Stepping the left foot through the hands, extending arms overhead. And when ready, yoga mudra behind the back. 5 breaths here. Awareness on that heart center, that feeling of energy vibrating and swirling. Ashtanga Namaskara. Cobra. Downward dog. A couple of breaths here. We'll be coming into a neutral tabletop and then transitioning into a puppy pose, or what many will call melting heart, modifying this as you desire. We want to try to keep our hips above our knees as much as possible. It's kind of hard to tell where they're at because we're going to be facing in the opposite direction. But as you move into the pose, just try to feel where your hips are, and you can adjust them a little bit forward or a little bit backward to try to get them as close as possible above your knees. So when ready, we're going to be walking our hands down onto the mat, coming into our melting heart or puppy. This is a deep chest opener, so moving in a pain-free range. 5 breaths here. Slowly rising up to tabletop and transitioning into a child's pose, embryo, arms by the side, forehead on the mat, About 4 breaths here. Inhale, coming into a downward dog. A couple breaths. And when ready, stepping the right foot through the hands, coming into a high lunge. Arms are extended overhead. You're finding your balance and equilibrium. And when ready, we're going to come into a cactus pose, holding here for about 4 breaths. Arms extended straight overhead. And when ready, we're going to drop our left palm and put it on the back of our left leg as we come into an exalted lunge. That right arm is leaning back. You're gazing up at the ceiling. A mini back bend here. Continuing to open up the chest area and the heart space, feeling that energy expand within your heart. Beautiful. Ashtanga Namaskara. Cobra. Downward dog. A couple breaths here. Inhale as we step the left foot through the hands, coming into a high lunge. Arms extended overhead. When you have your balance and equilibrium, transitioning into cactus. Continuing to breathe into the lower diaphragm, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Arms extend overhead as you gaze forward. Now we're dropping the right hand, putting it on the back of the right leg as we extend into a mini back bend, exalted lunge. Gazing up at our left hand as we come into a back bend. Palms to the mat. Ashtanga Namaskara. Cobra. Downward dog. Remaining in downward dog for about 5 breaths. Grounding through the hands and the feet. Continuing to keep awareness within your heart space. You should feel, it almost feels like the energy that's being created is like a sense of pressure. Mine's pretty much over my sternum, but it's a really good feeling. So hopefully you're feeling something along those lines as well. Looking to the front of the mat as we bring our right foot forward, we're coming into an upright pigeon pose. So this would be option 1. You may stay here, put your tree root fingers on either side of your leg, and just gaze upward for another mini back bend, opening up the front body. And now we are going to transition, lowering our chest to the floor, using a block under our forehead, or you can use your fists if you wish to prop up your forehead to keep your neck straight, or lowering your forehead to the mat, whatever is comfortable for you today. Returning upright. And now we're going to transition into a variation of gait. So we're going to pivot on our mat. Basically, the right leg is bent and we have our left leg extended. We're going to anchor that foot somewhat, I would say, parallel with the mat's edge, and place the right hand behind us and lift up our hips, remembering to move in a pain-free range here. Some people may not have the mobility to really come into a back bend, and that's okay. Just come up to your edge of your ability and hold the pose there. And if you start to feel uncomfortable or discomfort, then just come out of the pose and come into any pose of your choice. So placing the right palm behind the hand, we're going to lift up the hips as we drop that left arm over, coming in to a mini back bend. Holding here for 5 breaths. Slowly lowering down. Palms come to the front of the mat. Downward dog. A few breaths here. When ready, stepping that left foot through the hands, lowering down into a traditional pigeon. When ready, lowering our chest to the floor. Returning to upright position as we transition into a gait variation. Going to step a little bit closer to the camera so I have more space to go backwards. So again, we're working on the left side. The right leg is straight. Finding a position that's comfortable for your body. If you're going to lift your hips up and try to do the mini back bend, placing your left hand behind you and ready, lifting your hips up and coming back. Extending that right arm overhead, looking at the right hand as you come into a deeper back bend for this class. 5 breaths here. Beautiful. Lowering down. Coming into a child's pose embryo once again. Forehead on the mat. Letting that lower back curve in the opposite direction as a counter pose. Inhaling as we transition out of child's pose, coming into crocodile, laying on our bellies on the mat, placing our forehead on the back of our hands. Feet will be passive on the mat. A couple of breaths here. Awareness on that heart space, that vibration in that area, that energy. Heart intelligence, love, self-empowerment, the true essence of self residing within the heart. Placing your forehead on the mat and reaching for your feet, we'll be coming into bow pose. We're going to do one inhale deep into the belly and one exhale coming into bow, holding here for 5 breaths. Exhale, releasing the feet, returning to crocodile pose. Once again, the forehead is on the mat. We're reaching our hands back to hold on to our feet. And when ready, we're going to do one inhale, exhale, coming into bow, 5 breaths. Beautiful. Exhaling into crocodile. Palms are placed by the chest as we transition into a wide legs child's pose. Arms will be extended, forehead resting on the mat. Calming the mind to open the heart. Slowly rising up into tabletop, and then we're going to transition into seated staff pose Dandasana. Legs are extended in front of us, hip bones are rooted on the mat, toes are gently flexed, palms are by the hips. Spine is straight, tailbone to crown with the shoulders gently rolled back. Here for a few breaths, just grounding and rooting through the mat. Reaching for the toes or using a strap to modify if you wish. One inhale. Exhale, folding forward for seated forward fold. 10 breaths here. Calming the mind to open the heart. Awareness continues to be on your heart space, expanding that energy. Inhaling halfway, straightening the spine. Exhale, returning to staff pose, Dandasana. We now want to get our blocks or our bolster ready as we scooch forward on the mat a little bit and come into our supported fish pose. So again, if we have blocks, you can place a block underneath your back in between your shoulder blades. You can do it flat, which will elevate your chest slightly, or you can put it lengthwise on the thin edge, and that will give you a little bit more stretch in the chest. And then you want to put the other second block flat under your head, the base of your skull. For those with a bolster, we're going to put the bolster pretty much right up to the back of our hips, our pelvis area. And we're going to then recline back. Arms will be teed to encourage opening up the chest space and the heart area. Closing your eyes here. We're here for about 8 minutes, letting yourself deeply relax, keeping your mind calm and still to open your heart. Awareness will continue to be on the heart space, that vibration of energy and expansion that you're building for heart intelligence, empowerment, self-love. Gently rolling onto our side, pushing your bolster or blocks aside, supporting your head with your arm. Knees come up towards the chest. Gently coming up into seated, easy pose Sukhasana. Our spine is straight, extended tailbone to crown. Our hips are rooted on the mat. We will be placing our palms on our legs and closing our eyes for a few more breaths. Keeping our awareness on that heart space, that feeling and vibration of energy, of the heart intelligence that we've created in today's practice. The power of pure, unfiltered love. Bringing hands in Anjali Mudra prayer to the heart space, holding gratitude for this time and practice on our mats today. Hands up to the forehead, to the third eye chakra, embodying vitality in heart and mind. And so it is. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to practice with you today. As much as you need to return to this class to enter back into the power of your heart space, where the real self resides. Until we meet again on the mat, be well.